Hello everyone, I'm back. It's 10:20 p.m. at night. So, if it weren't for the stalkers and harassment and abuse, um I could have said that I had a good day today. It wasn't perfect, but a good day. But the stalkers and their abusive comments really ruined my day today. Um well, um so I'm thankful and glad to have you know 2 hotel nights here, and that's the air conditioner. It keeps turning on and off. I took it off auto and put it more like on continuous setting, and it still turns off and on like every few seconds. I hate those kinds of air conditioners, but yeah, but if I have something so-called positive and good going on in my life, perps and narcissistic abusers try to shame me and make me feel bad, you know, or they will criminalize me and talk about me bragging, So the good thoughts, it's like, why? I mean, they make people make it like as if I share something good, and then abusive narcs and perps, you know, find some way to hijack it. Um, they will victim blame me, and call me the fool and everything. So, but then those are the same people that try to talk about that I'm too negative, energy draining, and complain so much, and that I'm just miserable, you know. But it's like everything good, well, the small amount of good things in my life, and gets ruined like each and every time. Like I could never have like full triumph and full success, you know, and just good things. It's always got to be a struggle or a challenge or a sabotage, or can't go through perfectly, or it's always sabotaged or ruined. Or if there's like, even far back as like, I don't know, if there was a school dance or something, and I couldn't have a good time because of everybody treating me mean and singling me out, and me being forced to be alone in a crowd of people. But then, everybody else, this is New Orleans, so everybody, dancing a certain way or whatever. But then if I dance, I deserve to be punished. Or those ignorant project ghetto fake crusty kids at school used to try to manipulate for me and my twin sister and the biological brother Sean when he was going to school. They would manipulate us to dance, and then try to make a fool out of us and laugh at us. Now it would have been worse if they had social media back then. With them trying to get their laughs and mock and make fun and bully and stuff like that. But so like yeah, so I'm here until Sunday, and I'm thankful and glad that that lady helped me with 2 nights, you know, and you know, it's like it's like you know, the stalkers, they will try to stalk and harass everywhere they have an opening. And it's like they will try to ruin my day on purpose and hurt me with words on purpose today. Well, they try every day, but today I wanted it to be a good day. Last August 15th was ruined because today is the 1 year anniversary of me being wrongfully banned from the Riverwalk Mall and by the Creole Queen boat. And that fake security guard, Fred Harris, lied and said that I was just banned indefinitely until they figured something out, and that he would contact me once things got straightened out. And I never heard from him since. But that man used to love me, and they turned him, they compromised him and turned him into a perp. Even after I warned him and told him. And there's multiple people, even the fake manager at Sleep in Metairie. I warned her and I told her, and she still sold out and got compromised and did what she did. Even and it's like ever since then, and then dealing with what's that Suburban Studios in Avondale. The stalkers kept calling, and even the workers there said that they were sick and tired of them calling and being annoying, like calling and acting like fake tattletales. So the workers will look at me a certain kind of weird, and I explain to them what the stalkers do, and they won't stop, but they expect me to be controlled and stopped. They try to ruin and sabotage any and every little bit of happiness, but then those are the same ones who call me so negative and miserable. They don't want me to be happy, and they try to criminalize my happiness. I even did a video about this in 2019 on the YouTube channel that's now gone. It was one of the first targeted individual kind of and YouTube videos that I was doing, because I did a few YouTube videos off and on throughout the years, and the YouTube videos that I did in 2011 with the mental health abuse with the mental hospital, I wish I would have kept those videos. I think my first YouTube video ever probably was on 2007 or 2008, but due to being bullied and abused and people being so cruel and heartless, I didn't realize those were gang stalkers at the time. They bullied me to the point where they shamed me into being forced to have to take the video down with their the words being abusive and harsh beyond comprehension. Excuse me, So the stalkers do not care. And it's like, how can you criminalize someone for living daily life, and yet you want that person dead, but you're the satanic cyber criminal, and then throwing Bible scriptures at me, telling me that I deserve to be dead, or I deserve for something bad to happen to me, just because I did a community post saying that that me and my twin sister's birthday is in 10 days, but y'all applaud her for celebrating. So if she celebrates, y'all not gonna say that she deserves bad things to happen to her, or that she deserves to be struck dead. And the stalkers, they have made fake new profiles and fake harassing comments, threatening to illegally swap me at the airport, and then lying and talking about that I'm that I can't go and travel anywhere, and that I have 2 bonds, that I'm out on bail for 2 bonds, and they threaten that if I leave, I'm just going for one day and then coming back the next, and it's none of their fucking business. I mean, the fake arrests, they were setups and lies anyway. The fake public offender even had me on false criminal charges, and just gonna keep. I mean, he refused to even see any proof, and he's younger than me, and act like he delusionally believes he's older. I'm glad I fucking got rid of him. And then the fake police officers, they do nothing but lie, and then the fake judges defend and agree with the police officers against you, and then say that, well, the officer was consistent with this, and what the officer said made more sense. And they don't give you a chance, and then they try to falsely make like you're found guilty, and then they just want to be greedy and take your fucking money. Stealing. Excuse me. And everybody want me to be forced to punish myself with going to court, and I'm freaking innocent and did nothing wrong, committed no crime. If I've been like standing at the library for like an hour or so, not every time I go to the library, but for over a year, like a year and a half, from January, because I think it was January I started going to the library on a regular basis. January 2024. I don't think I went in December. Maybe, I just don't remember. But I was having problems at the Riverwalk and was made to feel like they don't want me there anymore. And they had a fake security guard that was trying hard, extra hard. He used to love me too, and then after a while he just turned against me for no reason, and then he started to try extra hard to try to get me wrong, try to get me wrongfully banned, and just tattle, and it's like almost all the workers at the Riverwalk is perps too. Excuse me, security guard or not, And I would have altercations with people and tell them you're going to hell before I even realize that, about this gang stalking program. Even far back as 2007, 8, 9, 10, probably even 2006, before I even was believing in Jesus Christ, or before I even became a Christian or anything like that, I would tell people, you're going to hell, or I'd say, go to hell, Excuse me, I still tell perps go to hell, or that they're going to hell. You can't throw me in jail for a crime that I can't commit, but you make it like as if, how dare you tell me that I deserve to go to hell for sins that I did commit. That's their mindset. They want me to, and they are creating false narratives around my life. Like the fake Angie Peterson Lingling perp made a fake profile saying Candy is from Gretna, not New Orleans, and then try to threaten me with death, use the Bible to threaten me with death about mentioning my birthday, and talking about trying to misquote Genesis 40 and 22. Y'all serve the devil. Don't be quoting scripture when you worship the devil, and you expect me to follow the Bible to a T, but you sitting there working for the devil and pointing out what Candy committed this sin. Well, if you can obey the Bible better than me, then you do it. Because stalking and harassing people is not love. It's not biblical. And with the Bible saying that love covereth a multitude of sins, excuse me. So, but anyway, no way in hell was I gonna get to take the bus to come over here from the other hotel. So I had no choice but to take an Uber. And it was pouring raining, pouring hard, And then I got here and I checked in, and I had a few little things to straighten up and get prepared to come up here and everything. And this is like kind of one of the most special I've been treated at a hotel in a while. It seemed like, this is like a 3-star hotel, because I usually can afford no more than 2 on my own money. But when I had a job in Pensacola, Florida, and for a brief moment, and excuse me, I had a job in Pensacola, Florida, and there were times when there would be like hurricane threats or this or that or whatever, and I didn't ask for any donations or whatever, and the only hotels left were like 3-star hotels, or hotels where hotels where you get a little bit pampered or whatever, or hotel, like they had this one historic kind of hotel in downtown Pensacola. I almost got wrongfully banned from there, and the fake worker, she had that Masonic fake red hair. At first she used to love me and she was really nice, and then I think they turned her, she became part of the cult. Excuse me, but she wasn't doing her job like she was supposed to. She would if she's supposed to be at the desk working overnight, and she would she excuse me, she would be working at the desk overnight. I mean, she worked the desk overnight, but instead of being at the desk, she would go outside and sit in the car, and I don't know if she would be sleeping, smoking weed, or doing sexual things with that boyfriend, or something she was doing in the car. They would be in the car all night, and then she tried to be self-righteous when I tried to, there were a couple of times when it was raining really bad, and it was raining kind of bad, and a couple of times, or maybe a few times, she let me, if I didn't get help with paid hotel room, she would let me sit in the lobby or let me use the bathroom, But after she got hateful and turned against me and became a perp, she threatened to have me wrongfully trespassed. And then they had a fake perp, a homeless perp that lied on me and tried to create all kinds of trouble, and then she sided with him. When I tried to tell, I think he physically assaulted me. I think that's what I remember. Excuse me. So, and he threatened me with death. So, but that was the most expensive hotel that I ever paid for on my own. And I think I may have stayed there like 2 or 3 times. And that hotel was a historic hotel. And that hotel was like at least $200. Well, it was one something plus tax. But then after the tax, it was like, $208 or something. But that was considered a 3-star hotel, I think. And that's the highest I ever paid with my own money, for in any hotel. And I was working, had a job at the time. But when I had the job, and all the other cheaper hotels were booked. So I had no choice but to take like those higher priced hotels. You know, 175 per night, or like, but you know, the luxury and high scale or high end hotels or whatever, I don't even seek out to try to stay in those kinds of places. I just try to get the cheapest that I could afford, where I'm welcome at, where I'm not wrongfully banned or kicked out. You know. So, um, excuse me. So like, yeah, I was surprised that, I was like, one of the workers had a slight attitude on the phone when I was trying to call and ask for information, but in person, like, she was very, 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 very nice, but but it seemed kind of like as if they spoil you here, made me feel like, wow, this is so good, I don't deserve it. But then the stalkers want me to think I don't deserve this, or I'm not worthy of this. But hey, if other people gifted this to me, then maybe I do deserve it. Or if God says it, then yeah, maybe I do deserve it. And these stalkers think that they're powerful enough that they think that they can override God's power and authority. They think that they are more powerful than God. That's how delusional they are. They think that they are the final authority in my life, and they falsely talk about that they're my pimps and that they own me and everything. Satanic sex traffickers trying to, weaponize the Bible against me. How about you get right with God? You sold your soul, and then they want to talk about me being beyond redemption, or me being, irredeemable. So, but anyway, so for at the other hotel, for the breakfast, well, it wasn't breakfast food, it was leftovers from yesterday, and I had just the rice and the meat and the big ass cookie and the mango drink, and I just couldn't bring myself to eat the plantains, so I just feel bad that I threw the plantains away. Didn't like them, didn't want them, but I thought I would try to have the plantains for health, but they seem kind of like mushy, the texture, but I thought I would try to select them for more health benefit, added, produce to my meal, but I just felt grossed out, but it wasn't a lot of plantains, but it was part of the meal. But I had that, and then when I came here, well, I'm not gonna say what I had in specifics, but New Orleans is a lot of seafood, and it's like I don't recall having seafood at all earlier this week. You know what? The court date, I think I did for lunch, but I couldn't eat it all because I was pressed for time and couldn't be finished. It was a chicken and shrimp pad thai for lunch, and I had a brownie and ice cream or whatever. It was a lunch special, and I think I had apple juice. But yeah, like, I'm not gonna say what I had today. I'll just let y'all know I had a seafood dinner, okay? That's all y'all need to know. But the stalkers would get really mad if they find out what I had and they didn't pay for it. It wasn't their business, As I said, New Orleans, they think that just because something has seafood in it, it must be extravagant and lavish and fancy or whatever and big, you know. But it's like, and then so it's like I was told that I could have as much bottled water as I wanted, but I just took the two ice cold bottled waters that she gave me, and when I came upstairs, and thankfully, supposedly, I mean, I have a way I could get to do laundry here. I'm just so tired and resting myself today. So, but excuse me. So that and it's like I was given like complimentary, um, boxes of laundry detergent. You know, so I'm glad I was able to get quarters for laundry, and so I don't know if before I leave here, I'm gonna get the laundry done. So, um, and this place, I was surprised that they had complimentary cookies this afternoon, and they were so good. Those Oda Spunkmeyer cookies, and I haven't had those in a long time. You know, and they taste way better than Mrs. Fields or the other cookies. Like, to me, Oda Spunkmeyer cookies is the best, and it's better than the muffins. Excuse me, it was some kind of like, look like, I think it was like caramel pecan. I mean, well, too bad by the time I got them, they weren't piping hot, but they were like room temperature. But I'm like, wow, I haven't had cookies that good in like I don't know how long. And then the dinner that I had was so freaking good. And I was like feeling. I mean, I didn't know until after I ordered my food. But I was depressed and got me some ice cream. Depressed dealing with the stalking, the harassment, the comments, the fake criminal court dates, and and the fear and the threats and harassment, and throughout the years, not all. I mean, I haven't been doing it as much, you know, like I used to when I was on psych medications. But today was a day that I like, ate extra sweet food, like ice cream, to help myself feel better because of feeling down because of the abusive hate comments. The abusive hate and threatening comments and stuff. But I took a shower this morning, like 7 something this morning. I think 7 or 8 o'clock. And then before I came on here, I got out of the shower. And so yeah, the stalking cult, they're threatening to illegally swap me at the airport. And they're too old to be meddling in other people's business and try to be liars and tattletales and stuff. And as I said, the fake public offender tried to tell me that, I forgot what it was. I was a while back that was supposed to have had something I might have needed to go out of town for. And he's like, well, why would you not be allowed to go out of town or whatever? He's like, well, as long as you're here for the court dates, that's all that matters, But they say for more like serious, people were saying more like for serious felonies, you can't really leave, the area until, after your court date is settled or whatever. But excuse me, the stalkers, for them to try to criminalize me even mentioning birthday, they just don't want me to be happy, and they don't even want me to celebrate. And they're the same ones that's nasty, satanic sex traffickers. How you gonna? And then I only got 2 likes on my own post, but then they make a fake new profile, and within 3 minutes they already got eight thumbs up or 20 thumbs up on my own content. That's fucked up. They'll have people who hate and want to destroy me, and I have done nothing to them. Don't even talk about them. Don't even think about them. Don't even know them. And it's like they're spreading, like on Mickey Michelle's videos, like the stalkers who I haven't even thought about or comment. I mean, I haven't said anything about them or thought about them, and they just spreading so many hate comments for nothing, and lying, like, and then they're the ones lying, telling a bunch of lies on me, and trying to just manipulate people to think I have just the worst character of a human being to ever walk the face of this earth. And they don't want anyone to support me. And it's like people that are my supporters, the stalkers, are hoping for me to say that. I mean, they are hoping for me to say that this person is a perp or that person is a perp. And it's like they feel like they gain someone if I lose someone, excuse me, more people that they can gain. Like they're winning souls, they're illegally stealing souls for Satan. In the same way that Christians would be winning souls to Jesus Christ. It's like, how is it that someone who worships the devil can try to tell you how to act as a Christian? And then trying to tell you how to act in society when they're stalking and harassing and sexually harassing, spreading lies about people, bragging about worshiping the devil. And then you want to talk about that my behavior is this, my behavior should be this way and that way. And they should just mind their business and leave me alone. You stalkers are the ones that have this sense of entitlement that you think you're entitled to control me. You think you have a right to control me and exercise authority over me when you should just stay away from me and leave me alone. I don't fucking know you. You're sick. But then try to pretend that you have more intellect than me. Excuse me. And that's what people say, that people would be jealous and point out, jealous bullies that will point out what they think or maliciously spread a false narrative about you on purpose, to manipulate people to see you as stupid as hell or crazy as hell, and let me tell the narrative about how I lost my job or how I ended up homeless. Who the hell wants to tolerate blaring loud music all day, every day without a break? Who the hell, and then it's like, they would spread a bunch of freaking lies on me. Malicious and intentional. The fake M. Stone perp, like, at the end of Mickey Michelle's, we did 2 interviews in one day, and it was supposed to be raining that day. It did rain where she was at, but it didn't rain over where I was at. And so then we did 2 interviews, just like the other time we did like 2 or 3 interviews, and then So maybe it might be next week. It might be she might release the interviews about my writing projects in the fiction cult novels and short stories that I've been working on. And I've been working on short stories and stuff aside from the fiction cult project that I'm working on. And so the fake M Stone perp, try to talk about that the fictitious Timberwood cult has every right to take me to court and sue me for slander. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And Star Bricker tried to fake complain a while back, trying to talk about, oh, she makes up fictitious cults and everything and stuff like that. Well, it's fiction writing. But, and what fictional authors, fiction writing authors, we might create, fictitious, people, places, things, ideas, whatever. Excuse me. No one says that they're crazy, So they try to criminalize me expressing my creativity, or try to make it like it just sounds insane and really crazy, So, So if they might have, excuse me, if they might have an author that might make up a fiction version of a card that had never existed. Excuse me, if they might make up their own idea of a card, So like, what if they might make up their own, make up a fiction short story or a novel and make up their own idea of a fictitious make and model of truck or something like that, So if they might if they might make like a fake make and model of a truck or something like that, okay? And so if they might have something like let me think, like a fictitious vehicle, like the make, say if they have a make of Pensilio. If they might have a truck that says Pensilio and aficionado, Pensilio aficionado, something just something crazy like that, No one's gonna say that. Or they try to be like, oh, she's crazy and out of touch with reality and this and that, whatever. Well, how come other fiction authors are normal? But for me to express my creativity, they either try to make it like it just sounds insane or it just sounds stupid. Excuse me, or if it's just or they try to criminalize or trying to hunt for some crime or something, or try to falsely accuse me of embracing crime or some form of abuse. I've been a victim of abuse growing up and survived abuse and still being victimized by these, the same cult that's continuing to victimize and abuse me every day. As long as you continue to abuse me, yeah, I have a right to call myself a victim because you're still hurting me. So, So it's like they don't want me to be considered as a victim. But then if they poke and prod and provoke and antagonize me and I strike back and I have the upper hand, then they will play victim. They want to, they, in fact, they try to play like they're the victim in situations that have nothing to do with them. That's not their business. And they try to insert themselves into my life and try to make themselves their own fake, fictitious victim of me in my life. You know, so for them to stalk and harass and start picking on me, and if I call them like, you know, you fake bitch or whatever, and then they'd be like, well, Candy called me a fake bitch. Well, no, nobody told you to insert yourself in my life and start making fake harassing comments and stuff. They even have guys harassing and stalking me and trying to destroy me. And then they're a fake victim when you call them gay or a coward. What straight man is gonna pick on and harass a damn woman for? What do you have to be jealous of someone who doesn't even know you? And I don't know how the fake Damnesia pretending to be Marshall or Joseph Camus. How does he know what he try to lie and say? Well, I caught Candy ordering Uber Eats and DoorDash at restaurants that are literally, yeah, that narcissistic word, literally, that are literally right across the street. You don't have any proof of that, you know. Why would I do something so dumb like that? And if I did, it ain't your business. You didn't pay for it. I just stay in my hotel room and stay out of trouble and try to have as much peace and quiet as possible and avoid as much perp activity as possible. Before all this, excuse me, well, before I was documenting being targeted, in 2017 and 18, when I had a place to live, I would go walking for exercise and go for like 3-hour walks and lost a lot of weight. And trying to improve my diet and eat healthier, I was able to get down to 192 pounds. And now, I have to deal with being stalked and harassed. I was being stalked and harassed then, but didn't know it. Or didn't realize it, you know. And, so I just come to the hotel and try to have as much peace as possible. And if you be so like fatigued and exhausted that, you know, if it might be, you know, hectic to just go across the street and get you something to eat. Or you just feel like you just tired or in pain. You know, all those videos y'all have seen of me talking about them squeezing my organs or making my hips hurt or hurting my chest or putting Charlie horses on me and hit me with direct energy weapons. You know, if I can't freaking walk or I can't move or, you know, excuse me, or if I'm just physically, like, have no physical energy at all, you know. So, how can you tell me how to serve the Lord when you spread lies about people and you're jealous? And, you know, you should look at your own sins and stop being self-righteous when you're wicked. Excuse me, you know, and, so it's like they're trying to use intimidation, fear, threats, you know, and as I said, like now they're threatening to illegally swap me at the airport if I go by the targeted friend's place, and then try to use the fake criminal charges against me. Those criminal charges are fake. Those police calls, illegally swatting, is fake. All this to silence me from documenting and fighting back with my targeting. excuse me, so the to the fake M Stone perp, if you're looking for, the cult ebooks and stuff and short stories that I've been working on, if you're looking for any of those characters to come and sue me, well, you'll be waiting forever. You'll be burning in hell for eternity before you wait for any of them to come and sue me, because yeah, you think well, for example, one of the fiction characters in the novel, okay, do you think Miss Loretta is gonna come back and sue me? Like, I'm waiting. Or do you think the 5-year-old boy, or no, 6-year-old boy, Logan, is gonna come and sue me? The fictitious characters in my novels and stuff. Like, how bizarre is that? And they want to talk about that Candy did this at her job, or she did that, or fake Damnesia pretending to be Marshall Camus, trying to talk about excuse me. Oh, I'm waiting for you to he told Mickey Michelle, I'm waiting for you to talk about how Candy abandoned her car and didn't report it to the car salesman or something like that. I was fighting for my life and running from abuse. My life was in danger. My life was on the line. And I didn't intend to abandon my car forever. I didn't want to, but the gang stalking cult network will put you in such danger that you're forced to have to abandon your possessions while fighting for your life. They've had other targeted individuals that were forced to have to abandon their pets while fighting for their lives, or leave their pets behind. And they don't do it out of malice or intention. It's like they're forced to have to do it. Excuse me, like the pet turtles that I had when I left in 2000, what year was that? The year of the bad number. The year that came before 2017. I was forced to have to leave my turtles behind, my pet turtles behind. And I didn't get, and the fake landlord, the fake narcissistic perp landlord, try to make it like it was none of my business what happened to the turtles. I at least had some concern, about, what happened to the turtles. I couldn't take the turtles with me. And I had certain other instances, like when I had to leave Trisha, I had to, be forced to leave so many of my possessions behind, and she had me in danger. Patricia Jerome. And then when I had to be forced to leave the apartment, well, I mean, when I had to leave the turtles behind in 2000, that bad number, before the year that comes before 2017, that year, I was forced to have to leave almost everything in the house behind and then start all over again. And even in 2018, when I became homeless, I was forced to have to leave so many of my possessions behind, or throw away so many of my possessions, and couldn't take everything with me. Excuse me. Even in 2023, I had just taken all my stuff out of the storage unit and was forced to have to leave everything behind or throw everything away and leave with like one or two bags, and the bags was so heavy, like even certain valuables I was forced to have to throw away because it was too heavy and I couldn't carry. Like, so I was forced to have to throw away some of my possessions that were medical records from childhood that could have had proof of my disabilities and stuff. You know, and a lot of important computer stuff and website files and everything. I felt so sad to, basically throw nearly my whole damn life worth of stuff away. And now, ever since 2023 in October, I've been forced to have to walk around with 2 or 3 bags, and then lately being harassed about so many bags or bags too big, or, treated with discrimination because of being obvious homeless and everything, or being treated extra mean, and despite, trying to be clean, so I mean, it's one of my short story characters. Okay, all right, with the short story called Mama Frida's Family Reunion. Is Mama Frida gonna come and sue me? How can a fictional short story character come and sue you? Or the stalkers, it's like, but they're the ones talking about me being out of touch with reality. Why the hell are you, for me to document the truth about my life, like the fake M. Stone perp was harassing me, making fake harassing comments and talking about that, that the Timberwood cult, the fiction cult, that I'm doing creative writing, that they have, the members have every right to come back and sue me. Okay, so like with the short story that I wrote, that I actually entitled it The Fake Cult Bible Class. Okay, is Farrah gonna come back and sue me? Or is Greg Lawrence gonna come and sue me? Excuse me. What, you stalking cult Satanists probably will try to file a lawsuit against someone and sue, thinking that you can sue me for my soul, right? Since my soul is what you're after. My priceless soul is what you're after. So if you think you can sue me and think you can get my soul that way because you work for the devil, it ain't gonna work. If people say that they can sue you for this possession and that possession, they're probably going to be like, yeah, I'm going to sue Candy for her soul. I'm going to sue Candy and get her soul. For fake damnesia, excuse me, illegally harassing me and talking about that, with him talking about, that he auctioned my soul on eBay for $2. No, you didn't. You're delusional. And he fantasizes about me being a perp part of their cult. So But I mean, like, how can the stalkers talk about what they watch? I mean, even if I didn't tell what restaurant that I ate from, how could they tell or know what restaurant I ate at from Uber Eats or DoorDash if I don't even name the restaurant? Like, y'all too intrusive in a stranger's life who does not owe you shit. Because you ain't revealing shit about your life. Excuse me. And if you are revealing anything, it's fictitious stories and lies, and you hide behind fake names and profiles and fake new profiles, and you don't show your real face or name. Only a few perps are fake bold enough to come and show their real face and real name, but they're still doing fake harassing comments and slanderous videos. Where's my right to sue y'all? Y'all the ones who need to be sued for the slander, not me. And I'm gonna entitle this video. See, they make my nose itch. I'm gonna entitle this video Gang Stalkers said my novel characters have a right to sue me. Well, that sounds like a title that might be too long. Might be too long for the 100 characters, whatever, But I thought about the idea of acting out skits, and like doing some videos and acting out skits of my characters or whatever, like, if I have a character, with the name Clara, that will say something like, and if I impersonate the character, and she might be like, go flush that toilet. You better flush that toilet. Go wash your hair. No, go wash your hands. Go flush that toilet. Go wash your hands. Excuse me, Or for me to impersonate the character that said, "And it's for a fee." And it's for a fee. And it's for a fee. But, anything I try to accomplish, the stalkers, try to put, your goals and accomplishments to a stop. Now, other targeted individuals have said, see, they're making my nose itch. Other targeted individuals have said that it's part of the Masonic psychological game for them to prevent you from working and prevent you from having a place to live, and to make sure you earn zero income, and then turn around and lie to people and say that you're a troublemaker at work, or that you're lazy and don't want to work. Or for them to talk about, oh, Candy talks bad about her coworkers. Well, how come the coworkers bully me and talk bad about me? If they huddle together and gossip, and how come, they can talk bad about me and spread lies, but I can't tell the truth? I can't do the videos exposing that, and that's why I will never get a job again. Fuck y'all. I'm just going to work on my writing and push harder to work more, push myself to work more on my writing, and that will be my focus for the rest of my life. If anything of any kind of work, that's what I'm going to do for a living, my writing. And for them to lie and say Candy is lazy and don't want to work when they know I'm working on writing something, even if it's fiction, and they will still attack me and still feel like my writing and my fiction and stuff, they even find that to be a threat. They feel threatened by something that's fiction. Because they know that they're cult members. Satanic cult. They had a perp on Mickey Michelle's video, were interviewing me, and one of them admitted to being a Satan worshiper. I'm like, are you serious? So they try to come up with so much lies and so many things to try to manipulate for me to feel shamed and try to think that I shouldn't be writing. Well, at least I'm trying, because they don't even want me to be trying. They want to force me to stop stop writing because it's silly. How can they lie and say that Candy made herself homeless on purpose for attention, just so she could scam for more hotel or whatever? Or they were lying. Earlier in the week, they were lying and saying Candy has not been going to court, and the court dates and the court problems have been settled, and she's just lying for a ploy or for a stunt. Or they say, oh, Candy's pulling this stunt for so many years, or she's pulling this stunt for so long. They had this fake perp that was doing like the stalkers are spreading lies about me, and then later on made fake comments pretending like she's defending me, and then saying that gang stalking is real, and then telling fake fictitious stories and lying about herself being gang stalked, and then saying, oh, I'm with Candy. Well, a few comments ago, you were just spewing out the same hate and lies as the gang stalking cult members, and now later on you're going to talk about that gang stalking is real. Now, fake TI perps that play both sides, they would do stuff like say that, gang stalking is real, and I'm a real target individual too, and I go through this and I go through that, but Candy, she's a scammer, she's a fraud, she's mentally ill, she's schizophrenic. Like, you outed yourself as a perp, and you're fake playing both sides. Okay, I go look on your profile, 1 or 2 subscribers, and no profile picture, none of that. No videos, not even any community posts, nothing. So where is your job that you just sit there, that any of y'all just sit there and watch me all day, every day? Even when I'm not online, you still know my every move. Y'all fucking sick. Something's fucking wrong with y'all. It's not your fucking business if someone were to order food right across the street. Well, shucks, if I'm ordering food right across the street because my ass is in damn pain. But not that I really do that, but but like, how you gonna, but they spread a bunch of lies. And that fake You Wish, YOUWISH 378, she has a fake profile picture. There was a point in time she had a fake profile picture of Johnny Depp, and now she has a fake profile of that person. I think her name is Alexandra Shipp, the girl who played Aaliyah in that fake Lifetime movie. And so, You Wish 378 lied on me and said that a few years ago I had been required to register as a sex offender in order to stay away from kids and stuff. None of that's true. And then she tried to talk about family members said that. None of that's true. you will never see, you won't see any register for a sex offender. You know, I never ever went to jail for any sex offender crimes. I never went to jail for violence. Like the stuff you see me going to jail for is the stalkers illegally swatting and playing games, destroying people's life and think it's a game. You know, excuse me. And I'm surprised that there are people who say that they love and appreciate my videos. It means so much, because for anyone to value my life and me exposing the truth and even believe me, that's a shock. It's not many of y'all, but thanks so much. I mean, I wish I could do more to express my gratitude for me to have any supporters, because the stalkers, you know, they want me to be punished with zero support. How can you hate someone that strongly, and what crimes have I committed that bad? I don't want to hear your smear campaigns and false accusations. What did I do? And if I did do something, it ain't your authority or place to judge. And your stalkers need to stop being entitled. And then the stalkers also, I forgot what perp lied and said that in 2019 or a few years ago that I was diagnosed with clinical narcissism. That's not true either. They just be making up shit. Just making up stuff. You know. But they will try anything to try to shame me or try to manipulate for me to feel bad and try to force me to stop writing. This is my work, my job. You know, excuse me, I've been feeling dragged and feeling asleep deprived, feeling all day today. Like in the middle of the night, I think I went to bed at like 12, 1 something. And then it was like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. I forgot what time I went to bed, but I woke up at like 6 or 7 and could not go back to sleep. And then been feeling the sleep deprived feeling all day today, you know. I wanted to go swimming, but it was storming and raining. And then later on, I figured that, well, you know, I didn't want to go swimming later because I didn't want to be cold while swimming, you know. So, but when I get off this video, I'm planning to get off like very soon. I'm disappointed. See, they're trying to force fart me. Excuse me. I'm disappointed that I didn't get to work on the writing today. You know, excuse me, that I didn't get to work on the writing today. So I you know, even if it's a couple of chapters, like I'm already at Psalms 131. If I could do just 131 through 134, I could feel accomplished, you know. But for me to have like maybe about, yeah, half hour left for the night, I don't know if I can even work on any more, work on any writing tonight, but maybe I can work on some writing tomorrow. You know, but I hope I can sleep good. And, you know, the stalkers hoping that their abusive words will cause me to be depressed and lose sleep and stuff, you know. But I mean, I don't even remember what other of the lies and hate that they spread, but the stalkers, they contradict themselves. but still hoping that people fall for their tricks and lies. And they think they falsely, there's multiple of us truly targeted in this program and forced homeless, and the fake TI perps playing both sides. They falsely claim to be targeted but act like a perp. That's what the fake TI perps do. And then I heard that they steal stories from real targeted individuals and make it their own narrative and make their lies sound believable and credible. Who's the one with victim mentality that you steal other people's life story and make it your own and pretend that you're a fake victim and targeted individual when you're a narcissistic, control freak, popular fake TI perp? When you calling me the fake TI, but you have zero documentation about being targeted, and you're abusive. The greediest thing to ever do in life is sell your freaking soul to the devil. Bye.